14, I had my first serious boyfriend. He was a few years older than me. I thought that I loved him, and I lost my virginity to him. I really thought that sex was love. I wanted to just be with any guy who would tell me that he loved me, and I was just so willing to just have sex because I just wanted so badly to find that love. Everything I did while I was in high school just made me feel numb. When I had sex, I felt nothing. When I cut myself, I felt nothing. When I would drink and do drugs, I just felt so completely numb. I got to the point where I was just so tired of feeling nothing, and I tried to commit suicide twice. After that happened, I was checked into a mental institution. I just remember sitting there thinking, this is what I deserve. I deserve to be in here. I deserve to be alone. After I got out of the mental institution, I just went right back to normal. Nothing changed. Being in numerous relationships and being in verbally abusive relationships on top of that, I've been called trashy, lowlife, a skank, whore. I've been called a slut. One boyfriend in particular that I had, when I was hanging out with him and some of our friends, and we were hanging out and drinking, and he drugged me and sexually assaulted me. After that experience happened, I told my sister. She was the one that told my parents and called a police officer. He told me that because of our past relations with each other, it wouldn't hold up in court, and that I should just try to just forget that it ever happened. I just remember feeling like I've completely hit my lowest. I just didn't know what to do with myself. I remember sitting in my room. Something just came over me, and I fell to my knees, and I just started crying, and I couldn't stop. I was sobbing and crying, and I didn't know what was coming over me. I just couldn't stop sobbing. And I remember through all that, I heard a voice telling me, I love you. I've always loved you. And I've always been here. And it was God telling me that He still loved me. Throughout all my experiences, the one thing I know is that God will take you just as you are. And looking back at everything that's happened, and looking back on that night in particular, I always think about a Skillet song. It's called Last Night, and it says, this is the last night you'll spend alone. I just love listening to that song because God is truly everything that I need. And all that time that I thought that I was so unloved and so unworthy, He's always gonna love me, and I could never, ever ask for anything better than to feel the love that God has given me.